Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic with the great news, of course, that our killer Sudoku app is now available on all three platforms, Android, Apple Store and Steam. I was even looking at it recently and saw that on Steam there's a bundle of all six Cracking the Cryptic apps at 10% off what the price would normally be for all six. So a fantastic Christmas present there. So I think each app is normally, on most of these platforms, $5.99 in your local currency, as long as that's euro, dollar or sterling. But a good saving to be made on the Steam one. Anyway, let's just remind you what we've got going as well as the killer app. We have on Patreon the Tracking the Cryptid Hunt, and more recently the Modern Art Sudoku pack. Now this Sudoku looks like it would fit very well in that pack, but it was not part of it. This was just sent to us separately by JJ Olsen, and he's a recent arrival to the channel, and he's tried compiling his first Sudoku. So he sent that along. It's got a fascinating rule set as well as very interesting presentation, and this is he calls it, let me just get this right, thermodiamonds and productodiagonals. So there's thermos and there are some diagonals, but neither work the normal way. The thermos in two separate ways are different. One, the bulb is not shown. It's always at the end of a thermo. So for each of the grey, green, yellow and orange lines, there is a bulb at one end, but you can't see it. We have to work out where it is. However, you will be able to tell from the length of, for instance, the grey thermo, that something is going on. And what is going on is these are slow thermos. That means that from the bulb, they never decrease, but they might not increase with each step. And since a lot of these are diagonals through other boxes, there is scope to go quite slowly up the line from, say, 1, 2 or 3 there, up to whatever the final number is, be it 7, 8 or 9, something like that. And that's if that was that way round. It might well be this way round. We don't know. So slow thermos with hidden bulbs. And then these diagonals, these are not the regular diagonals that show the numbers 1 to 9. What's happening in this puzzle is that the two marked diagonals have the same products. They multiply together to give the same number, which is a fascinating constraint, one I've never heard of before. Well, certainly not in a puzzle, not in a 9-length multiplication. So do give it a go on the link below the video. I'm going to have a try now, and let's get cracking. And let's start with the long thermo. So let's, just assuming the bulb was here, we'd go 1, 2, it's in the same box. Then we could go 2 again, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, no Monica Geller moment, 8, 8, 8. So there is actually 1 degree of freedom even on that length of thermo. What that means is that it's got to begin up here, or end up here, with 1 or 2 or 8 or 9. The next one would have to be 2 or 3 or 7 or 8. It's going to be very difficult to present these, because I mean, although that's going to have some effect probably on the next thermo, we don't know whether it's going up or down. Oh, actually, just thinking about this, with every single thermo, they're all reversible. What I mean by that is, if we forget about the product diagonals for just a second, if we did work out what the numbers were, we could work out. What I'm saying is we couldn't know which way round these thermos went, because you could always swap all the bulbs, subtract all the digits from 10 and have a perfectly valid formation the other way. So what I'm saying is, if this went from 1 there to 9 there, and that made this one go from 1 there to 9 there, say, which is quite plausible, and you'd fill in all of the cells on the thermos, then you could subtract every cell you'd filled in from 10, and these would be perfectly valid thermos going the other way round, from 1 there to 9 there, and therefore from 1 there to 9 there. And okay, I see. The only way of knowing the difference is going to be by doing these immense product calculations. Ah, my goodness, I don't know how we approach this. Well, I do actually, because we've done it before. When, it must be nearly a year ago, Kurt Hugo Schneider, the top music producer, sent us his first puzzle, and it had unknown ending thermos. And the way we had to solve that was basically make an assumption at one end and carry it through and be prepared to change it round. And I'm going to do that again. I mean, I can think of another way of solving it, which would be to open up another copy of the grid in another browser tab and have that be the opposite. So I put 1, 2 there in this one, and in the other one I put 9, 8 there, and copy that all through. But that feels very laborious. Now, I'll admit it will be quite laborious if we get to the product bit and we have to change around, but frankly, I think that's preferable. So I'm going to start with the assumption that this one at the top, this bulb at the top, this thermo end at the top is a bulb. And let's see where that takes us. We've got 1 degree of freedom along this first grey thermo. So I'm filling in all the possibles as we ascend gradually, slowly up that thermo. Oh, and I've got something wrong. No, not necessarily. No, that's right. 8, 9. Yeah, there's the degree of freedom. So every single cell has a single degree of freedom. Now, this all seems okay. None of it contradicts itself. So how does that work with the green one? Well, this... How long is the green one? Let's imagine this was 1. I'm going to ignore the grey one for these purposes. 2, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8. There's 1 degree of freedom again. I suppose it sees 3 cells in every separate box, just like the grey one. Okay, I understand that now. Now, can we tell which way round this goes? These end positions of the thermos aren't actually very helpful because only one column sees the other end. Ah, okay, look, this is... Yes, okay, imagine this started with 1 or 2 here. Yeah, look, we run into a problem immediately. These would be the possible 1 degree of freedom possibilities. And now, well, I mean, any way you look at this, you've got 6 cells containing only 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, which is impossible. You've got a 2, 3 pair and a 3, 4 pair, and they would both need 3. So that's absolute bobbins, and we can put a 1 in this end. So that's 1 or 2. We've got 1 degree of freedom to work with again. So 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Jump to 4, 5 again. 5, 6, 6, 7. Jump to 6, 7 again. 7. I don't know why I'm saying jump when that means no movement in terms of the numbers. Right, so we get to an 8, 9 there. Now, what have we learnt from that? Does it help the yellow or orange thermo? Oh, we've got pairs in the middle row, 7, 8 and 3, 4. Yeah, oh, okay. We've got pairs in the middle column as well. Oh, and look at that. We've got a 7, 8 pair, a 3, 4 pair. So the central cell cannot be 7, 8, 3 or 4. We've got a 1, 2 pair and a 5, 6 pair. So the central cell cannot be 1, 2, 5 or 6. And if you're following closely, you know that it is now our first digit. We can place a ludicrous naked single 9 in there. It's not really a naked single. It's a very hidden single, hidden by these pairs that are looking at it through the window of this spider's web. I'm mixing every metaphor I can here. Now, that 9 is on the end of a yellow thermo. I hope that's not too disguised. And that, yes, and it is the end. It's not the bulb. The bulb is this end. Now, how many degrees of freedom have we got here? 1, 1, 1, 2, because it's in the same box. 2, 3, 3, 4. I mean, that's it. I mean, the absolute minimum number is 4 cells in the same box before the 9. So there are lots of degrees of freedom here. Maybe we work back from the beginning. So that could be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Again, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Now it has to come down 1 because it's the same in the same box as that. Ah, no. Yes, I see now. This, by the time it gets to this cell, it can't be 8, 7 or 3, 4. And it can't be 2. Can it? 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Maybe it can. But it's definitely lower than 7. Could it really be 2? No, it can't be 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Maybe it can be. How irritating. Okay, but this is the beginning anyway. So that's really annoying. In fact, this could even be 1, 1, 1 to finish off. Right, that's a lot of possibilities. Now, we can rule out the 5, 6s and the 1, 2s, though, out of these cells. Yes, so take out 5, 6. Take out 1, 2 out of that, and this is now 3 or 4. Okay, which feels a lot better in terms of restriction. And in the central row, we've got a 3, 4 pair and a 7, 8 pair. So this can't be 3 or 4, that's 1 or 2. That can't be 2 anymore. That can't be 2 anymore. This can't be 3 or 4 now because it's coming up or level from 5 or 6. This can't be 4. Okay, and that can't be 4, 5 or 6. So we have formed some quite interesting reductions. Odd that these are differently reduced, but anyway, I'm going to live with that. Now, remember, we're still working on the presumption that this is a bulb, I mean, and that we might have to reverse the whole grid if we've got that wrong. What can we use now? Okay, in this central column, we've got a 1, 2 pair, we've got a 9, we've got a 5, 6 pair, we've got 1 of 3, 4 and 1 of 7, 8. So the other two come from 3, 4, 7 and 8. Now let's have a look here in the central row. We've got a 9, a 7, 8 pair, a 3, 4 pair, 1 of 1, 2 and 1 of 5, 6. Now this orange thermometer can't rise from here, because that would have to be 3 or 4, that would have to be 5 or 6, that would have to be 7 or 8, this would be impossible. So this is the base, the bulb, and it can't be the 5, 6, because that would lead to 7, 8 here, and that would be impossible. So that's 1 or 2. I bet, yeah, this still can't be 7, 8 here, that's 3 or 4. This now can't be 1 or 2, and this can't be 3 or 4. And now we've got pairs, a 7, 8 pair. That puts a 6 on the thermo in just the sort of place we want. I can trace that all the way back to the beginning of the thermo, fill in all the numbers. 3, 2, 2, 1. That 1 looks up at the top. Perfect. And a 2 to begin this thermo means I can fill the whole thing in, which is a real bonus. 7, 7, 7. There's the Monica Geller joke, and I've got that wrong anyway. Something's gone wrong here. What have I done wrong? 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7. I haven't got it wrong. It's fine. 8, 9, 9, 9. I had the same problem there twice. Right, 7, 8, and a 6. Looking at this cell makes it a 5. 4, 5, and 6 looking at this make it a 3. Now the thermo makes this one a 3. Oh, well, that 4 would have done that as well. This is a 1. 2, 3, and 4 are looking at it. Oh, my. Oh, 2 there, not 0. 1 there. This is a 7. Oh, and I can't finish these remaining cells. Those two are going to be the same, but that's not finishing them. Right, column 4, 1 and 8. Yes, I can put them in because of this 1 down here. That 8 fixes one of the thermo cells. That's 7 or 8. That makes this a 4. And I get stuck again. What have we got here? 1 and 6. Yes, I can do them. That's 8 or 9. This is 2. And there we go. I think I've done boxes 2, 4, 6 and 8. Almost all the thermo cells apart from those ones. And I suppose now I'm going to have to look at these wretched diagonals. And I can tell you, I'm not going to be doing huge product sums. I'm going to be looking for factors. That is literally the only way I think one can go about this, unless you have a brain the size of 2 planets. So, what can I do first? Maybe there's a bit of sudoku to do first. Maybe. No, I'll tell you what. Look, there's 2... Yes, I mean, the one thing I thought about these diagonals at the start was only 5s and 7s are going to be really useful numbers. That was why I wasn't planning to use them. But now I've got 2 5s on this leading diagonal. And that is interesting, because that means there have to be 2 5s on this other diagonal, because 5's obviously the only number between 1 and 9 that is divisible by 5. To get 2 factors of 5 on the diagonal, well, it's going to have to be here and here. Those have both got to be 5s. Let us cross off. I'll use yellow to mark cells where I've used their factors completely. So that 9 and that 1 I'm taking out. The 9 because it's shared between the 2 diagonals, exactly the same. 1 because it has no influence on a sum, like on a calculation like this. Now, there is a 7 here. So there must be a 7 on this diagonal in one of those positions. But I don't know which. Oh, and I should be very careful. This is the point. No, before this is the point where I have to unwind to, if I'm going to have to change all the polarities, as it were, of the thermos, because I need the alternative solution. Oh no, actually 5. Okay, here comes a knowledge bomb from cracking the cryptic. Don't get too near this one. 10 minus 5 is 5. So 5 is actually consistent through both versions of this puzzle. So in fact, up to this point, this has to be the same. But once I start using this 7, okay, so this is the point at which I have to get back to, when I've got 2 5s on the diagonal. Now, maybe there's a little bit of classic Sudoku. So 3 is confined here. Oh, actually, there's a 5 I can put in there. 9, 5, 4, 7. That's 1 or 3. Oh, 9. 9 and 9. Yes, that is a given. I mean, it's a complete digit. Definitely there. 3 and 2. 3 is in one of those cells, 2 in one of those. That puts 2 up there, and 3... 3 has to be here. Yes, 3 there, puts 3 in one of these cells because of that 3, and those 2 3s mean there is a 3 on the diagonal there, and that... well, what that's done is taken one of the positions for the 7. So now to get a 7 on this diagonal, it has to go here, which fixes that 3, which fixes this 3. We are rocking now. But we have now made the first decision based on factors that can't be reversed. So, colour in those 7s. because they've been used. Now we've got 2 3s. Oh, yeah, okay. Yellow was a stupid colour to choose. I'm going to go for something different. Let's colour them orange instead. Okay. So the reason it was a stupid colour is because I now want to highlight things. I've got 2 3s and a 9 on the other one. So I can colour all those and they're matched off. Now I've got a 3 and 2 cells to match these 3 cells in terms of products. This one can't be another 7 because we can't squeeze a 7 onto this diagonal, so that is an 8. So we've got an 8 on this diagonal and a 3 on the other one. So we need to get either a 3, 6 or 9 in one of these cells, and neither of them can be a 3 or a 9 because of the row 2 and box 7. So, or row 2 and column 2. So one of them is a 6. What can they be at all? Any even number there. Any even number there. Or 1. This one, again, the same sort of theme. And this one can't be a 1, so just any even number. Okay, but one of these has to be a 6. I suppose there could... no, with one of them being a 6, these two can't be a 6, because whichever one it is sees both of these cells. Right, and that means... so there is a 6 and an 8 and some other even number there. Here we have a 3 and 2 even numbers, although actually there are 1 possibilities. I don't know quite how to resolve this. 8 and 6, that's 48 along this diagonal, and another number. Along this diagonal, the most I can get up to is 24 times 8, which would be the same as 48 times 4. So whichever one of these isn't a 6 can't be more than 4. I think that's right. So I'll take 8 out of those. Yeah, these two either have to be 8 and 8 or 8 and 4, I think. Pretty sure that's right. If they were 8 and 4, we've got 8, 4 and 3, which is 96. Here we've got 8. These would have to multiply up to 12. They would have to be a 2 and a 6. That is very plausible. However, these could be 8, 8 and 3, multiplying up to whatever 96 times 2 is, 192. Making these two would have to multiply to 24. They would have to be 6 and 4. So it's not a 1. These are either 6 and 2 or 6 and 4. And these are either 8 and 8 or 8 and 4. If they're 8 and 8, that's 6 and 4. If they're 8 and 4, that's 6 and 2. I can't really resolve that. Okay. But I've managed to juggle the numbers in my head, which I'm quite proud of. Now, 1 in column 3, I can put that in. That's going to give us a 1 in one of those cells. These two are 6 or 8. This is a 2, 7 pair. So 4 goes in here. That's not a 4 then. That's not quite helpful enough. 5, 3, 8, 6, 4, 7. That's 1 or 2. That's 2 or 9. 6, 2, 4 or 8 there. Oh, come on, come on. 2, 1 or 7. That could... this is a naked single. This is a 1. 5, 9, 4, 8, 6, 3 in the row, 2, 7 in the column. That is a 1. That doesn't tell me where the 1 is at the bottom. That's irritating. But this is 2 or 7. That's a 2. Okay, 7, 2 there. Sorted. This can't be a 2 now. But these can still be 6, 4 or 6, 2, just in different orders. 7, 3, 4, 2, 1, 5, 9, 6 or 8 there. 6 or 8. The only place for a 9 in the final column is here, and that sorts out our last thermo cell. 3, 6, 1, 8, 5. This is all still assuming that one is a bulb, although that is looking quite good at the moment. I mean, if this goes wrong at this point because of the thermo constraint, I'm not going to be thrilled. Right, this is the only place for a 7 in row 2. Then we end up with a 4, 6, 8 triple apart from that. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, look, yes, this is a 7. That happened when we resolved the... Actually, that thermo way back then. Sorry, that should have been a bit easier. 4, 6 or 8 there. Just... Oh, gosh. 4, 6, 8 or 9. Any of the 4 possibilities there. 1, 6 or 8. 1, 6 or 8. Why does this have to still be complicated? That's not fair. Right, what am I missing here? There must be something that makes this easier. Do I really have to work on these possibilities? I think I probably do. So one of these is an 8. If it was 8, 4, that's going to put 6, 2 in the other places. Yes, hang on. So if this is an 8, that becomes a 6, that becomes a 2. Then that's the 6. And because those are 2, 6, that's 8, 4. Well, that's quite possible. So the alternative, if this is a 4, 2, that's the 6. And then this can't be either a 4 or a 6, because we can't have 2 6s, not because it's a diagonal with a restriction like that, but because we can't get 2 more factors of 3. And that can't be a 4 because that would be a 4. So this cannot be a 4. That's an 8. Right, that should get us done, I hope. 8. I'm not worrying too much about the products now because I hope that they will just fall out. Although obviously I will check them and it might turn out this is the wrong version, in which case I will weep silently. 4 and 9 and 6. And I think this is probably the right answer to the puzzle, but hang on, hang on some minutes. Because not only am I going to check the maths here, so 6 times 2 is the same as 4 times 3, and 8 is the same as 8. Yes, those products must be the same. I don't know what they are, I haven't calculated them, but I'm telling you they have to be the same because they have all the same factors. I'm going to do the check to make sure I haven't got any error. That's good. So this is the right answer. However, we have not yet proved that that not being the bulb and that being a bulb didn't work. And although I would find it astonishing if that was the case, we are going to go back because that is the only way to prove this puzzle. And we don't like to just get to the right answer. We like to show that it is logical and it wouldn't have worked the other way. So I'm sorry, but there we go. Now, when we get back to only having the 5s and the 9, central 9 and the 1 highlighted. Oh, I had them in yellow for a bit. I'd forgotten that. Right, I think this is about where we were. We'd got that 3 by regular sudoku. Yes. Everything, nothing else had been dependent on the factors. So, at this point, I'm now going to go through the whole grid. Let's take out the corner marks because I don't think they're particularly useful at this point, and we can always recomplete them. And I'm going to make everything else subtracted from 10. So, let's get it right. There we go. 7, 9, 8. This is not 7, 8, it's 2, 3. 5 stay the same, that's handy. 7116. And then we're going to retry it and see how quickly it fails, because I have no idea. And of course it would be a hideous surprise from JJ if he'd made it so it works this way round. Frankly, I think that would be wizardry beyond anything anybody could imagine doing, but who knows, I might be wrong about that. Frankly, I mean, it's close to wizardry as it is. This puzzle with its extraordinary pattern. I love that it works as a puzzle. It's really clever. Now, let's hope I haven't made any bonehead errors. 1, 3, that becomes 7 or 9. 2, 4, 6. So, I've been talking to you while I've been subtracting everything from 10 in my head, but let's just have a quick look at thermos. 5, 6, 7, 8. This one goes, yeah, we don't know what that is. Yes, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 thermo in the middle cell now. Yes, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so the thermos are all right. So this is the alternative arrangement. Now, how quickly will this break down? We've got a 3 in one of those cells. I mean, I should really be able to just turn around. Oh yeah, that 3 has now become a 3-8 pair. Turn around the logic and do quite a lot of the solving virtually the same way. 6, 3, 8, 7, 1, 5. No, not that helpful. One of those is a 6. But it's not going to be till we do some actual maths, obviously, that we're going to work out where the problem lies. 7 in one of those. So this time, what have we got? We've highlighted the 5s already. So this column, this diagonal has 2 7s. Let's mark them in yellow. Maybe yellow will do this time. So this one needs 2 7s. One is there. This one now has to be a 7 straight away. And this feels a bit different from the other version. We can mark in the last 7 in the grid here. This becomes a 9 by Sudoku, 8 there. I've got a 1, 3 pair there. That's not 8. This is a 2, 4 pair. 9 and 6 we can actually fill in up there. We've got another 2, 4 pair at the top. Now, we've marked in 7s, 1s, 5s as far as possible. Now, why have I got that 9? Oh, that was a 1 in the previous version. That should not be marked. So we'll take out the pencil marking there. Let's go back to orange for these cells that are okay to mark. Now we've got 2 9s. Now this is going to be a problem straight away. That's 4 3 factors. How are you going to get 4 3 factors onto this diagonal? 1 there, maximum 1 there. You would need a 9 here, and that is not possible with the 9 there. So that it's broken down very quickly actually, but you still have to get to that point to break it. And the first version of the puzzle was the correct solution. I mean, that is a fascinating puzzle. I'm sorry if you regard that way of solving it as bifurcation. I really don't see another way of doing it except by leaving an incredible ton of pencil marks in the grid, which would be equally unappealing, frankly, as a presentation. Well done if you managed to solve it. I can't believe that you would have managed to solve it without appreciating the complementary possibilities of filling it just from the thermos, and that has to be where you begin. Let's just go back and see how close I can get to doing the product in my head, because will it go back to what we had before? No, it probably won't, will it? This was me correcting all the numbers from 10. It's not going to take me back, is it? Because you can go back and forward. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Okay. I was going to have a go at calculating the correct product of the diagonals in my head, but frankly, I'm spared that now. I can't get back there without resolving the whole puzzle, and I'm not going to do that. So Thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Thanks to JJ Olson for the puzzle as well. Very clever, and hope to see you soon. Bye for now.